Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pop Keto Kitchen, and today we are doing Fathead dough. Welcome back guys. Today we are making Fathead dough. Now this is one of the first recipes that I learned when we started keto, and it's just a really versatile recipe. It's basically a dough that you can use to make bready type things. It's mostly made of cheese, so you get your fats in, but once you've got the recipe down, you can use it to make a bunch of things. We like to make bagels out of it. You can make pizza crust, you can make a whole bunch of things, sweet and savory. Now, due to a technical difficulty, I've actually made this dough already today, and I'll bring that in a bit later, but so that I can show you what I did, here is the recipe. I'm making a half batch now, but I'll bring in the full batch later. As I'm talking through you though, I'm going to give you the full ingredients as we're going through. Okay, so we're starting off with 300 grams of grated mozzarella, and we're going to pop that in the microwave for 2 minutes. Cool. All right, to that we are going to add 50 grams of cream cheese and give that a good mix through. Now your microwave may be a different power than mine, so you may need more or less, but the idea is to get a nice gooey, cheesy consistency, kind of like that. You can see that there. All right, now to this we are going to add 170 grams of almond flour and 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Now the mixing motion for this is halfway between a mash, a mix, sometimes even a stab. You can see here, it's not like you can't just mix it, like the cheese isn't going to let you do that. So you've got to basically mash the almond flour and baking powder into the cheese mixture. To get this good doughy consistency. Cool. Next step is we're going to add an egg. Now the egg doesn't necessarily want to mix with the dough, so what I'm going to do is increase the surface area. And this is something I've just learned through experience that will make it easier for the egg to make its way into the dough. So making a full batch, you would add 2 eggs. And again, it's somewhere between a mash and a stir and a stab. Now you don't want to add your egg too early to the cheese if it's quite hot, because your egg will just scramble and it won't mix in properly. Get closer. And you just want to mix it through till you get a uniform consistency. Now, in the meantime, I am heating up our oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to bring in the first batch that I've already made now. So I effectively have 1.5 batches here. One batch will make 12 portions of dough for you to do whatever you want with. Okay, so from here we're going to start shaping the dough into what we want. Now, I'm going to put the smaller batch over here just for a moment. Okay, now I've measured this before and I know that one portion is about 52-53 grams, so I'm going to portion it out as I'm going it and weigh that. Now, Fathead dough is a very sticky dough. The best way that you're going to be able to handle it is by keeping your hands moist. So I've got a bowl of water here, and I'm just going to keep my hands wet as I'm working on it. So first one, I'm looking for 52 grams. Now we like bagels at our place, so we are going to make some bagels. We're going to do a few other things as well, and it's going to be good value. So here is me making a bagel. There's 2 ways of making bagels. This is the sausage method, where you sort of stretch it out between your 2 hands into a long sausage, and then you twist it around and touch the ends. Like so. I'll bring a tray over here, why not? Wet my hands again for the next portion. Cool. Now the other way to make bagels is to roll a ball, flatten it a little, put a hole in it, and then start stretching it out from the hole. Now this dough, because it's made of cheese, it is actually going to spread out a little bit while it's cooking. So that's why I'm making sure the hole is quite defined on these bagels. Cool. All right, so I'm going to head and quickly make up the rest of these. If you find any lumps in your dough, now is the time that you could also just smush it together a bit to make that dough a bit more even. So once we've got our bagels formed, before we put them in the oven, we like to add some sesame seeds and poppy seeds. Now to make sure they stick, you've got to make sure that your bagels are wet. Just going ahead and wetting all of them. And don't worry, you can't over-wet them. And some poppy seeds. And we're just going to pat them again with a wet hand, just to stick them down into the dough. All right, so that's our bagels ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put these aside just for a moment. Don't know if I mentioned it before, but the tray is lined with baking paper. All right, so we'll have a bit of fun with this. Now we are still going to divide up into our 52-gram portions. Again, that's just my recipe. It's just worked out that way. Making sure our hands are wet when we touch the dough. Now what can we do? Let's try a pizza base. So really it's just a case of making a ball and flattening it out. Try and keep it as circular as you can. This is a mini pizza base. You can obviously do a bigger one. All right, so that's our little pizza base. And with this one, we're going to make a cinnamon scroll. So we start off similarly to the bagels in that we're drawing it out into a long sausage. Pop that down, flatten it a little bit. Again, I'm making sure my hands are nice and wet for this whole thing. You want to get this as long as you can get it. All right, and now we need some cinnamon and sweetener. I'm going to be using erythritol. Right, so a good shake of ground cinnamon. Oop. And then some sweetener. Love the smell of cinnamon, that smells so good. All right, I'm gonna roll that up. Wet hands. Alright, so that is a cinnamon scroll. I'm going to flatten it just a little bit. Cool. What else can we do? I'm going to make another scroll, so I'm going to just create another long line like I did before. And being the red-blooded, true blue Australian that I am going to make a Vegemite scroll. There's already cheese in it, so why not? Right, one thing to note is that for me, this would actually be a cheat, putting this on here.
And the reason for that is that the Vegemite actually contains wheat products, so technically it wouldn't count as being keto. Now apparently there is a gluten-free version in Australia and I haven't been able to get that here. So have a look at the ingredients on that. That may fit in it, but I couldn't say that for sure yet. And then we just roll it up like this.
All right, so we have our cinnamon scroll, our pizza base, our Vegemite scroll, our dough ball, a couple more bagels, and then a tray of bagels over there. We're going to put them in the oven now at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes, but I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, it's 22 minutes later, let's get them out. Alrighty. Alright, so we've got our bagels on this side and we've got our little experimental tray over here. So we've got our two bagels there. You can see how nicely they've come out. This one here was the dough ball that we just threw in there to see what would happen. So you can see it's retained some of its height. It's sort of browned off and it's sort of spread a little bit. This one here is the pizza crust that we had in there. So if you were to use that as a pizza crust, you would cook it first, go back, put some topping on it, put it back in the oven. You might want to put a little bit of aluminium foil around the edges just to stop the edges from burning. A bit of tomato paste, some cheese, again, probably not too much cheese because it's already made out of cheese, but if you've got some pepperoni or something like that, that'd be nice. These here, these are the scrolls. So that is the cinnamon scroll, right there. That smells great. It smells really cinnamony, but there was a lot of cinnamon on there, and this is the Vegemite scroll, as you can see there. I am looking forward to tucking into each of them. All right, so the Vegemite scroll, oh, yum, look at that. Oozing Vegemite. Yeah, that one is a winner. So it was a lot of Vegemite on there, so if you're not the biggest Vegemite fan, that one might not be for you, but I love it. Can't taste a lot of the cheese in it because of the Vegemite being so strong, but I don't think it's a bad thing. All right, and the cinnamon scroll. Right, so you can see the inside of the dough there. Some of it's been crushed because it's still quite warm. You can see that there. So cinnamony, a little bit of sweetness. Good amount of cinnamon. Maybe could have used a little bit more sweetener. But yeah, definitely a winner. You might be surprised that you can do sweet dough out of what is essentially a savoury cheese type product. And then you've got the bagels. All right, so this is one of the bagels here. And if I was to I can show you there, you can see that there's some airiness to the dough. It's nice and fluffy. It doesn't taste as cheesy as you think it might given the amount of cheese that's in it and what it's made of. And the nice little sesame seeds and poppy seeds on the top there. These are really good warm. In fact, even after you've let them cool down, sometimes it's worth putting them in the microwave for 10-15 seconds just to warm them through before you eat them. So there you have it, keto fathead dough as bagels, as cinnamon scrolls, as a pizza crust, and as a Vegemite scroll. Have a go with them yourself. Let us know in the comments section down below how you go. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who's doing keto and they're looking for recipes, pass it on to them, give them a share. And other than that, we'll see you next time. Bye guys.